Good morning, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. We are delighted to welcome our today's speaker, Dr. Sara Alamoudi, and she's going to present her session on punctuation and the capitalization. Dr. Sara is an assistant professor at English Language Institute, King Abdul-Aziz University, and she has earned her PhD in 2024. She also has served as a facilitator for teacher training program at University of California, Santa Barbara. Dr. Sara is a certified teacher trainer through Cambridge University Press, and her research focuses on second language acquisition with a special interest in L2 collocations within communicative language learning. We are honored to have her with us today, and we are looking forward to her valuable insights. Over to you, Dr. Sara.
Okay, thank you very much for this introduction, Ms. Rabia, and I'm happy to be presenting this today. And I appreciate everybody for being here. So I will be talking about capitalization and punctuation, as you can see. And although this is a very basic topic, still many students fall into making a lot of mistakes, really. And I'll be presenting this presentation, hopefully to help our students, especially that exams are coming up on Sunday. So I will try my very best to make it as clear as possible. So let's start. Why are capitalization and punctuation important? So as we all know that it helps both the capitalization and punctuation help writers to structure sentences, and they provide clarity and professionalism. And they are also like traffic signs for reading. They guide the reader so they don't get lost or confused. So if you need anything, because I can't see because I'm sharing the screen, Ms. Rabia, just kindly just point it out for me, so because I'm focusing on my slides.
Sure. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So going back, so as I was saying, capitalization and punctuation, they work like traffic signs for reading, and they guide the reader so they don't get lost or confused. We can imagine, if we can imagine that, for example, cars or vehicles going in the street, everything is clear. You have the green light, a green light, red light, yellow light. We cannot have them confused. We cannot just like drive not knowing exactly what is the color. So, or is this probably green, or this will all cause confusion. This is the same thing in writing. Everything needs to be clear and precise and controlled. And you can even say that the capital letters, especially in the beginning of sentences, they act like the green light go sign. And it's signaling a new thought and a new idea. And then where you have the periods and the commas and the question marks, they all control the pace and the meaning of a text. This is very important. And I know that the use of capital letters and there's a variety of even punctuation is different from Arabic. So this is very important for students to understand and practice it. And I want to show you the next slide and to see the difference in meaning between the two sentences. So let's see the first one in green. We will see that I love cooking my family and my cat. What does that indicate? That indicates that I'll be eating my family and my cat. That for dinner, I'll be having my family and my cat. Whereas the second sentence is the correct sentence, the one in red. Excuse me. The one in red right over here. And what it's showing us is that I love cooking, my family, and my cat. It gives us pauses so we understand the sentence in a better way. Now, for capitalization, there are rules. I think perhaps it will do this better. So for capitalization, there are rules for capitalization, and there are 8 rules that we can follow. And it starts with the very important one is every time we begin a new sentence, we start with a capital letter. Whatever letter is that is, we will start it with a capital letter, as you can see. I think this is very precise and clear. Still, as this is very precise and clear, I do want to emphasize that students, when writing, especially when they're using their handwriting, they do not always capitalize the letter. It's either because they do not grasp the idea of capitalization very well, the rules, or that they don't understand that it has to be very clear when they write it. Sometimes they can't or they give us a lowercase. For example, if the letter Y, they will write a lowercase instead of writing it an uppercase or a capital letter. So although this is a very basic rule for students, they have to clearly write if it's a capital letter or if it's a lowercase letter. And then the second rule comes with capitalizing names and other proper nouns. I tried as much as possible to have all the proper nouns in these 2 slides that I'll be showing you right now. But anything that has to do with the name of something, it's a name of something. So you have people, countries, cities, states, continents, all of this, languages, nationalities, and so on until like the last thing is political parties. But then we go also, this is capitalized. The streets, the buildings, the parks, the districts, the counties, body of water. I want to come here to this example for a minute. The Atlantic, excuse me, the Atlantic, the Atlantic Ocean here. Okay, so all of these are capital letters, as you can see. The first letter is capitalized because it is a proper noun. But there are sometimes proper nouns that have the word the. I have to be very careful with the. If it's beginning of a sentence, it should be a capital letter. If it's a beginning of a title, it should be a capital letter. But if it is in the middle of the sentence, then it is treated as a lower case. And I will get to this more in the following slides. But in terms of, okay, so in terms of so we have to understand that it depends on where is the located. When we capitalize it, we capitalize the name. So if for example, I have Atlantic Ocean in the middle of a sentence, I will not have to capitalize the letter T, only A and O. Also forms of address. So when I address somebody, Mr. President, Mom, Grandma, Doctor, Professor Sarah, whoever I'm addressing, it will have to be a capitalized letter. Now, if I say my mom, for example, if I use a possessive word preceding a noun, like my mom or her grandma, these nouns are lowercase. So if we were to address somebody, for example, I need to call mom. Grandma is coming to dinner. This is somebody in particular, so then that would be with a capital letter. We have also days, months, holidays, but we do not capitalize seasons. So summer, spring, fall, autumn, winter, they are not capitalized. So this is the second rule. Going to the third rule of capitalization, we capitalize after a colon. So this is a colon right over here. So we capitalize after a colon, but only when the word after the colon is capitalized, or sorry, is a proper noun. So you have to capitalize it. And in another situation where you have one or two sentences that follow the colon. So I would go to the restaurant again for two reasons. I have a complete sentence here. The food was exquisite. The service was also excellent. So if I have a complete sentence, I go ahead and capitalize the letter following the colon. And we do not capitalize when it's just a regular noun. Any other nouns, it's not a proper noun. So, for example, I have one true passion, kickboxing. So kickboxing here is just a regular noun, no need for capitalization. Going to the following slide, we capitalize also the first letter in a quote if it's a complete sentence. So if I say the student asked, the following sentence is a complete sentence, then I would capitalize the first letter. And we do not capitalize it if it's partial quotes. So partial quotes is just taking from just a regular quote and just taking bits and pieces from here and there and just putting it in my sentence. Then I don't need to capitalize it. The teacher said that the students could easily join the basketball team. So we didn't capitalize the words here or the first letter here. And then we go to slide 9, where we capitalize most words in titles. So if, for example, in our writing, when we have a paragraph or we have a topic and we want to write the title is capitalized. Okay, most of the words are capitalized. There are some styles, it depends on the style guide, okay, that they would say that that all nouns and verbs and adjectives and adverbs and proper nouns are all capitalized, okay? And they would say that the minor words, like the articles, like the, preposition, conjunctions, are lowercase. So this is one style. Although another style would say also that we go ahead and capitalize all of the nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, proper nouns. And in some cases, if the prepositions and the conjunctions are longer than 5 letters, then they suggest that we should capitalize it. So it depends on the style. But I want to go ahead and elaborate on the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, as you can see, the first letter is capitalized, the, although it is repeated again in the middle of the title, but it's not capitalized. This is because every letter, whatever type of word it is, as long as it starts the title, it must be capitalized. Just like the example here, the Lord of the Rings, we capitalize the first word. We have also, we capitalize periods and events. So the Victorian era, medieval era, the Great Depression, Stone Age, all of these, they refer to certain periods of time. Now, if we are to use it, in this particular way, referring to that particular time, then yes, it should be capitalized. But sometimes we use them in a more generic way, in more like a general way. So I can, for example, say that the employee is using a Stone Age technology, meaning that it's very old. So this is more like a general use. So then at this point, you don't need to capitalize it. But when I refer it to something, the Stone Age was a time of where people used to do this and this and this, then I am talking about a particular era, then that should be capitalized. And then when it comes to century numbers, like in the 15th century, we do not capitalize the words here. Going to the following slide, we find that the word I is always capitalized. As simple as this is, it is an issue to many students in undergraduate students, really. In my experience years, I have found that I had to remind the students to capitalize I. I know there are many students here, they're undergraduates, so I would like to emphasize that I is like important. So we are important, you are important. So always put this in mind in any wherever you place it in a sentence, you have to clearly make it capital letter. So you capitalize the first person pronoun whenever it refers to the speaker. And this applies in all positions, like I just mentioned, within a sentence. Also in all contractions. Examples, I'm, I've, I'll, I'd. Okay, so as I have some examples for you, I love it, the sentence, capitalized, my friend and I in the middle of the sentence, and also the contraction, I'm going out to get some chocolate. So you can see there's love for chocolate here. Going to the following slide, we go to punctuation. Punctuation, for the time, because of the time, I will only discuss four, which are the main ones, and which is needed, which is much used and the most popular one. And we can leave the rest for another presentation. But these four are the most important and the most frequently used. So we'll focus on that today. So we have the full stop with a period, the question mark, the comma, exclamation mark. You have all of these. As I said, inshallah, we can do another presentation and discuss it in more detail. So the full stop. Now, full stops or periods, you can say, oh, it's simple. But again, in my experience, especially in exams or in tasks, students tend to either forget them or they put two punctuations. So it could be a full stop with another, with a comma, for example. So it is very important that when we write a declarative sentence, a statement, or something that expresses facts and opinions, we place it at the end of the sentence. So as long as I have a full idea, then a full sentence, then I have to put a full stop. I don't put another punctuation with it. Now, I gave you here some examples. It's just very easy. You just put the full stop in the very end of the sentence. And then you have the question mark. So the question mark is used to ask questions. And you have some examples here. Basically, again, please do not use more than one punctuation. When if this is a question mark, then that's it. That's a question mark. Do not use a full stop afterward or anything else. An exclamation mark is also something that shows emotions, excitement, surprise, fear, whatever, anything that has like even your voice, your tone of voice rises. It can be also a strong command. So you just put it the same thing at the end of the sentence and you do not add another punctuation with it. I know this sounds simple, but this is what happens when students in their writing, there's a lot of things that show up, and this is one of them, that they put two punctuations sometimes. We also have a comma or the commas. Commas, this is something that students need a little bit more practice. It is not that easy. Perhaps they feel that there are a lot of rules concerning commas. I tried as much as possible to list them, so hopefully it will help you. A comma, it's a pause. and it's a punctuation mark that used to separate ideas, words, or parts of sentences in order to make the meaning clear. So like I said, remember the first sentence about cooking? So I love cooking, my family, and my cat. There's a pause. It helps in giving the correct meaning. Okay, and yes, and it does improve readability as well. So why are commas important? So there's 6 reasons why they are important. There's 6 reasons why they are important. First reason is what we just mentioned. It gives us, it separates items in a list, so it gives us a better meaning. I need to buy milk, bananas, and apples. I want to stop here for a minute because as you can see, there is a comma here in after the word bananas. Now, this depends on the style, if this is American English or British English. If it is American English, it is required to put a comma. Whereas if it's British English, the comma is omitted. And then the second reason why it's important is because to separate independent clauses with a conjunction. Some students can get confused here. The main point is to have an independent clause. So an independent clause, it's a sentence that can actually stand alone as a complete sentence. So if we see here, she studied hard, I can just put a full stop. It will stand alone. But I want to connect it to the following sentence, which is also an independent clause. See, she passed the test, can also stand alone. But I want to combine them both. So I'll put a comma and put the conjunction right in the middle. She came to class, but she forgot the book. Same thing. There's also another reason, and that is after introductory phrases. In the morning, after lunch, whatever it is, you start with an introductory phrase, put a comma, I like to drink my coffee. And then you have number 4 is to set off non-essential information. So what do they mean by that? They mean that I can just go ahead and say, my brother, and delete this, is coming soon. The sentence will still make sense. But in this case, I wanted to put who lives in Cairo. So I said, my brother, comma, who lives in Cairo, comma, is coming soon. So the meaning of these 2 commas is just that I can omit it, I can take it out, and still the sentence will be a complete sentence. So it's just extra information and it's not essential, it's non-essential information. So this is also another reason for putting commas. Another reason to put comma is to separate direct speech. And direct speech is when I say, for example, Sarah, Rabia, Rana, and then put a comma, and then you ask your question or say your statement or whatever. Can you pass by at the weekend? Or you can say, Mom said, and they say, don't be late for dinner. So, so it's actually after a direct speech, after saying a name or saying any, just a direct speech, and then you put a comma afterwards to separate it from the remaining of the sentence. Also, to separate dates and locations. So I have a long sentence here with a lot of commas, but I wanted to show it to you how often we can use commas. So she was born on Wednesday, comma, May 1st or May 1, comma, 2004, comma, in Jeddah, comma, Saudi Arabia. So this is for the lesson or for the presentation. I hope it's a revision for many of our students. I would like for you to, hold on, present here. Bear with me a second. No, where did it go? Yeah, capitalization. And then, okay, can you go ahead and take a picture of this? I have some exercises we can do together just to emphasize the things we just took. Is it clear?
Yes, doctor, it's very clear.
Thank you. Okay, I think I should have put the link just in case. Here you go. Share is the capitalization. Share link. Okay, I'll just have to do this. I shared the link for everybody. Choosing the titles using correct capitalization. Which one is the correct capitalization? We'll just give it a minute just for you to choose, and then we will put the yeah, we'll just put it here, visible for everybody. Okay. So the correct answer. Okay, we'll give you a minute because there's some participating as well. I hope a lot of students benefit from this. Okay. So we have my sister is taking French and English this year. Which one is the correct one? Let me see. Yes, so all of you did it correctly, exactly. And then we have, yeah, we'll go to the next one. Choose the title using correct capitalization. Choose the titles using correct capitalization. This is very interesting. Again, so we are talking about titles here. We're talking about titles. Okay, so the majority got it right. So we capitalize the first word. Remember, in titles, we capitalize the first word, whatever type of word it is, we capitalize it. So the lion, of course, lion, it has to be capitalized and then comma. The witch and the wardrobe. The both, well, which and wardrobe is capitalized, but then the articles, the conjunction, all of these are lower case. And there is, so the first one is the correct one. The second one, we don't, we are not to, we don't capitalize, we don't capitalize the articles if it's in the middle. If it's in the beginning of the title, then yes. In the middle, we do not. And then we have here the line, the which and the wardrobe in number 3 has a full stop. Has a full stop. It is not a sentence. This is not a sentence to have a full stop. And the main words should be capitalized because they are names of a particular book or movie. So they need to be capitalized. And then the last one is, of course, all of it is wrong. Okay, so now let's go to the following exercise. Now, in this exercise, I have written 5 sentences. These 5 sentences need to be corrected. They need to be capitalized. There are words that need to be capitalized. Kindly write it, and I will show you the correct version in a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is very good. I can see that the majority did it correctly. I would just emphasize that we put a full stop in the end of the sentence. There's some of you that forgot the full stops. But for the capitalization, most of you got it correctly. July is a capital letter. Okay, I'll show you the correct answers and you can also revise it. So, excuse me, here we go. So we visited the Golden Gate Bridge in July. You can just review it and just see your answers. Emma is a capital letter. Oak Street is the name of a street. Dr. Smith is the name of a person. River Valley Hospital is the name of a hospital. So it's just like King Abdul-Aziz University. Spanish is a language, and algebra is a name of a subject. And Charlotte's Web is a name of a book. So that's good. Okay. I hope that was good practice for the capitalization. I would like to do, yes, thank you everybody for writing these sentences. Let's go ahead with the second exercise. And let me just write the poll and just visible. Okay, and then I will share the link first with you. Kindly go to this link and we will take this out, present it. Okay, so we are choosing the correct sentences using the right use of comma. Oops, I'm sorry guys, I put B first and then A first, but you get my point. Okay, yeah, so it's clear that we have two independent clauses. I wanted to go outside. It was cold, and I connected both of these independent clauses, and I put a conjunction, which is but, and just added the comma before the conjunction. Okay, let's go to the following exercise. Choose the sentence that shows the correct use of comma also here. Which one is the correct one?
Hamza, I think open the door right now. It's locked. I've talked to you, Rach. I can't. I'm in the middle of the class, okay?
Okay, so let me see the, yeah. So yeah, so all of you got it correctly. Okay. Let's go to the following one. But no, before I go, I want to emphasize just that it is always before the conjunction and it's not after. Just want to emphasize on that the comma comes before the conjunction and, but, so, and not after. Going to the following. And I don't know why it came like this. I apologize for that. It should be listed in a list, ordered in a better way. But anyways, you have here the 4 or 5 sentences, and we need to put commas. we need to put commas in the correct way. So give it a try. We'll take 2 more minutes. Just okay. Yes. Okay, so the majority of you did it correctly. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So great. Now let's just elaborate a little bit. I think only one person got the, for example, Lena. This is a direct speech, right? So we need a comma after it. But I do want to elaborate. When we do write commas, they need to come just like this example here. This student, they wrote the comma just after the word, and that's the correct way of doing it. So when you do write it, do not put space between the comma and the word before it. But the majority of you did it correctly. This is what I mean. Try to make it just right after the word that's before it. Like here, book in this case, or Lena here. It should be right after the A. Okay, we'll go and just review all of this. Okay, so we have here after the game. Why? Because it's after introductory phrases. And then we have here apples and oranges. This is to separate items in a list. And as I said, this can be omitted. It depends on which version are you using, English, British English, or American English. And then you have the puppy, which was adopted yesterday. This is non-essential. It means it's not important information. I can remove it, I can omit it, or I can leave it. excuse me. And then I have here, I wanted to read a book, but my friend called me. Again, these are independent clauses, and they're joined by a conjunction. And then Lena, I'm addressing, it's a direct speech. Can you come early? So we put the comma here to separate it. Excellent. So we came here to the end, and we just finished capitalization and some of the punctuation. And I hope that it was clear and it was a good revision for our students. If you have any questions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sara, for your highly engaging and practical session. And I hope our students have learned a lot from this workshop today. So because of your clear explanations and useful examples, I truly believe that everyone has taken something from your session, and we sincerely appreciate your time and your effort. Now we would like to open the floor for comments and questions. Everybody, please feel free to share your thoughts. You can write in you can send in your questions through chat, or if you want to raise your hand, if you would like to speak, you can do that. We are looking forward to hear from you. So there are a few questions. The first question was from Miss Mariam. She asked, in Arabic names like Abdul-Aziz, can we write it as a one-word name, or should it be Abdul, then space, and Aziz as two words? Dr. Sara.
Yes, that is a very good question. It's just like Al-Amoudi, for example, my last name, Al-Amoudi. Some people prefer that they have a capital A and then in both Al and then Amoudi, or you can just make it as one word. It really depends on the person. It really depends on the person how they prefer to write it. This is more of like something that's an independent. You have to say if you want it to be two words or one word. But if you separate it, like you said here, Abdul-Aziz, then it should be both of them should be capitalized.
Thank you very much.
You are most welcome, everybody, and thank you all for coming and listening to the presentation. I really do hope that it was a good revision for our students, for our undergraduate students who will be having a test on Sunday.
Absolutely. It was a thorough session. I literally enjoyed it very much. It was amazing. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
And even the
Thank
exercises were really
you.
good.
I'm glad. Thank you.